Hello everyone, today we are breaking down the Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf teaser trailer which was released during WitcherCon. Remember to like the video, it helps out the channel a lot, and subscribe and yada yada yada, let's get to it. So for those who don't know what this is, Nightmare of the Wolf is an animated prequel to The Witcher. It focuses on the backstory of Vesemir, who is like a father figure to Geralt and who trained him. The first thing we see is a large city and castle. I believe this is Beau. People who have played the games will be familiar with this place because it is the main setting in the Blood and Wine expansion for The Witcher 3. Beau is described almost like a fairy tale land, with it being very vibrant and grand. The castle in the picture is very fairy tale-esque, and if I put a still of Beau from the game up, they look pretty similar. Most likely there is a Witcher contract here and Vesemir is looking to collect and kill the monster that is hindering them. We then see the medallion tree. They talk about this in the Inside Kaer Morhen video, which was also released during WitcherCon. It is a memorial to all the fallen Witchers of the School of the Wolf. When one dies, their medallion gets placed on the tree. We also see that the medallions are bloody. During the Inside Kaer Morhen video, they discussed how the Nightmare of the Wolf will show the sacking of Kaer Morhen. This is where wild fanatics, which were led by mages and priests, attacked the stronghold, killing most of the teachers and students at the time. Their reason behind this was because they believed witchers were abominations and needed to be killed. It is never really explained what happens exactly during the sacking, so we'll get some new info on that. All that is really known about it is that Vesemir survived the attack. This could mean Vesemir was on the path, which means doing contracts and whatnot, so he may have not been present for the attack. It could explain why we see Beau in the opening shot. He could have been doing a contract there at the time. We also see Vesemir in a snowy woods, so maybe he has heard about the attack somehow and he's trying to return back to Kaer Morhen and defend the stronghold, or he could just be returning for winter after defeating whatever was at Beau. The next shot we see is the lab at Kaer Morhen. This is where the Witchers are made and the first trial begins. The Trial of the Grasses. There are 3 trials for becoming a Witcher, and the Trial of the Grasses is the most infamous and most painful one. It takes about a week for the Trial of Grasses to be complete. Herbs, elixirs, and mutagens are injected directly into the veins of the subjects. Most die by the 3rd day, but those who survive usually go into sudden states of madness. They also fall into a barely conscious state, and their breathing is very heavy at this time, almost as if they are gasping for air. They would then receive more elixirs, causing vomiting, seizures, and cold sweats. When one would wake on the 7th day, their eyes will look cat-like, or in the show, they turn yellow. The trial also gives them lightning-quick reflexes, slower aging, increased physical strength, and sharpened senses. Only 3 out of 10 survive this process, the rest die in agony. If you want to know more about the other trials or Witchers in general, check out my video, What a Witcher Is. I go into detail about it. Link will be in the description below. In the next shot, we see a Witcher, most likely Vesemir, standing above a lady tied to a bed. Then flames shoot from his hands. I'm guessing Vesemir has just used a sign, and this is Igni. Signs are simple spells all Witchers use. In Season 1 of The Witcher, we see Geralt use Ard a lot, which can knock an opponent back. Igni is the fire one. We haven't seen this in the show yet. This could be how it looks. It could be blue flames instead of the orange ones like we had in the games. The only question is, why is he doing this? Why is there a lady tied to a bed? Later in the teaser, we see a werewolf. I believe this is the lady in the bed, and she is from Beau. We can see the tops of the castle in the background. The 2 most common ways of becoming a werewolf are that one of your parents is a werewolf, but you then have complete control of your shape-shifting abilities. The other most common way is that you are cursed, and if that is the case, you have no control over it, and you change during the full moon, which is occurring in this still. So the reason why the lady is tied up is to restrain her from going on a rampage through the streets, or it could be that Vesemir is trying to break the curse to save this young maiden. We don't know who the lady is, but to be cursed, I would guess she's probably a highborn lady of the court. This is probably the reason why they are trying to save her. If she was lowborn, she probably would have been killed. Why he is casting Igni here, I do not know. If you have any theories, leave them down in the comments below. In the next still, we see a group of crows face off with Vesemir, and they form a skull shape. We also see that Vesemir has a sign ready to go in his left hand. I would guess it's Ard, which is the one that knocks back opponents, which would work nicely in this situation. Vesemir is in the woods in this scene, so he's probably on his way back to Kaer Morhen. He probably encounters some of the fanatics who are trying to attack the stronghold. And as I said before, mages are part of this group, so they could be the ones who are controlling the birds in this scene. In the next still, we see a giant explosion of some kind. If you look closely, we see birds dissipate and scatter. This may be the aftermath of Vesemir using Ard on those birds from the earlier shot. And if that's the case, they made Ard a lot more powerful in this compared to the games and TV show. In the next shot, we see a face of a demon. There really isn't much info on demons in The Witcher. They are not really mentioned a whole lot. In the games, you do encounter a being named Gunter O'Dim, who's believed to be a demon and is very powerful. He can grant wishes, manipulate time, and teleport. He leaves a brand on Geralt's face. When Geralt asks Yennefer if she could remove it, she says,
I can scratch it if it itches, but I fear that's all.
I'm not joking, Yen.
Neither am I. These symbols, it's ancient, powerful magic. I've no notion how to remove them.
Damn it.
You're still one of the prettiest witches around in my book. Second only to Lambert.
So demons are not to be trifled with, especially if a sorceress as powerful as Yennefer can't even remove a mark. How this demon plays into the main story, I'm not sure. He could have been the one who put the curse on the woman to make her turn into a werewolf. Or he could be orchestrating the attack on Kaer Morhen. In the next shot, we see Vesemir unsheath his blade, and we see that something is in the trees above him. This could be the demon we saw in the shot before. Both are wearing cloaks around their heads. This could explain the birds forming into a skull. Maybe the demon is controlling them instead of a mage. The demon seems to be trying to prevent Vesemir from returning to Kaer Morhen. Why though, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody made a deal with the demon to destroy Kaer Morhen, and Vesemir returning would jeopardize that? I don't know, it's hard to say, but if you have any theories, leave them in the comments below. In the next shot, we see Kaer Morhen, and it is full of life, and it is not in ruins, so this is before the attack. It's going to be really cool to see what the school is actually like and get to see some of the trials Witchers go through and Witcher lore that we don't know about. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this. So what do you guys think of Nightmare of the Wolf? Leave it down in the comments below, and if you want more Witcher content, please subscribe and like the video. Also check out the Twitter link in the description below, and as always, have an awesome day.